Hey guys, we are live. Let's do this. Can everybody see me and hear me? All right. Okay, I think we're good. All right, I think we're tweeted out. I think we're out. All right, well, all right, we got to do this, guys. We just got to do this. So today's not going to be fun, but we got to do it. So the Seahawks played a game today, although I'm not convinced they knew about it. Vast majority of these players, I saw no fire, no fight, no interest in doing anything other than showing up just enough to collect a paycheck. Well, pretentious Cameron, you need to understand, I'm never going to go truly nuclear because then my channel gets banned. That was nuclear for me. I'm never going to do the EDP thing. I'm never going to do the angry. What's the guy's name? Angry Grandpa? I'm never going to do that. That's never going to happen. Understand that. Like, that'll never be me. We could lose every game. And I would never do that. But anyway. So yeah, the Seahawks technically played a game today, and they lose to a team that projects to be one of the worst teams in the entire NFL. So we are off to a very bad start. I would say, of every team in the NFL, we had the most embarrassing result. There are teams that are embarrassed right now, like the Giants right now. We're watching them getting blown out at home by the Cowboys. They're embarrassed. The Chiefs are embarrassed that they lost. The Bengals are embarrassed, but I would argue that no team is more embarrassed than us right now. So that's a very concerning result, and it has to make you wonder if this team is actually on the right track, the way that people were saying. Um, what I can say about the Seahawks today is that offensively, I saw some things that I liked. I thought the play calling in the first half was good. A lot of creativity, a lot of fun stuff that we did. A lot of interesting stuff going on with that offense. I liked what I saw from Waldron. The second half, we never had the ball, so he never could really get into anything, and our tackles were down, and there was really nothing much we can do. So, yeah, that part of it was okay. I think Geno more or less did what he could. He didn't play good, but I don't think he really played bad either. He had the one bad throw to Metcalf on 3rd and 4. Other than that, I don't know what he's supposed to do, really. And that might be a Waldron thing more than anything. So, Geno, he didn't play good, but I don't think he played bad either. I think he just was like, whatever. Kenneth Walker played a pretty good game when he was able to get the ball. Kenneth Walker played all right. Metcalf started the game pretty good, and then obviously he was completely absent. Oh, right, guy, thank you for the $1.99. Is it time to tank for Caleb Williams? We're not going to be able to be that bad. Caleb Williams ain't happening. Maybe in some weird universe, Drake May, but not Caleb. So I thought K9 played pretty good. DK until the end of the game where he did meltdown, and that stuff really needs to stop. Like now, I'm sorry, this is becoming less and less okay that he does this stuff every year. Colombo Lajos, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the channel. I think that let's see who else. The offensive line played fine until the injuries happened. It wasn't great, but it was okay. It was good enough for us to do what we needed to do. Yeah, that's really about. I guess Disley had a couple nice plays, but mostly offensively, what I can say is in the second half we lost our tackles, and we had no plan. We had no ability to do anything. I can't get that mad about that. Most teams would be like that if they lost their starting tackles. I get it, especially in the middle of a game. Like, that is understandable, and I'm not going to trip on it. I'm not going to get really mad about it because that's just the way things go sometimes in the NFL. People get hurt, and sometimes you're not in a position to replace them. Okay. So the offense, they didn't play good, but I'm not really mad at them. Test, test. Hold on, let me check it on the YouTube side of things. Okay, can you guys see me and hear me? So my internet died. So I restarted. Luckily, it let me jump back into the stream. Hold on, let me let everybody know the internet issues are fixed. Isn't that just perfect, though, that something like that would happen right after I go live on a day like today? Like, you gotta be kidding me. What is going on today? What a joke. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Wait a minute. Okay. Don't do that to me, Jake. That is really annoying, though, because that kills the momentum of the people coming in. Anyway. Well, that was really annoying. But anyway, the defense, I don't even have words. I've seen this Seahawks defense get knifed up by offenses before in recent years, of course. It actually happens all the time. I remember Jameis Winston destroying this defense 4 years ago. I remember last 2 years ago, Kirk Cousins blows through our defense. But those were actually good offenses. Those were offenses where it was understandable to give up a bunch. This is the Rams with no Cooper Kupp. This is the Rams with like really just nothing to talk about. Just nothing going on that offense except for, I guess, Stafford. Or theoretically, right? Like, I guess Puka Nacua is just as good as Cooper Kupp. I guess they should trade Cooper Kupp and just let Puka Nacua be the new Cooper Kupp because he's just as good, right? So the defense, I don't even know what to say. The run defense was better, but who cares? This is why I say what I say. This is why I say what I say about run defense. Run defense does not matter that much in the modern NFL. We stopped the run great today. We were awesome against the run today. We held the Rams to under 2.5 yards a carry, and it was under 3 yards a carry before garbage time. I understand garbage time dilutes that number a little bit, but before garbage time, it was still below 3 yards a carry. The run defense was fine. More than fine. We had one of the better run defenses in the league today. And it didn't matter at all. It didn't matter one little bit. So, yeah, I'm embarrassed. I hope this whole team is embarrassed. I feel bad for anybody who was in that stadium today. I feel bad for anybody who watched that game today, including myself. Yeah, I feel bad for myself. Seahawks have lost 7 of last 10 games. Yeah, I know. I saw that, Cameron. But anyway, um, I don't know where we go from here, but to me, I'm going to say something that I've kind of been saying repeatedly for the last couple years. The players own their own faults. The players do bad stuff. The players make mistakes, of course. There are plenty of players that did bad things today, but why is it all of them? Are you telling me that all of the sudden Mike Jackson can't play, Trey Brown can't play, Julian Love can't play, Draymond Jones can't play, Nwosu and Mafe and Taylor can't rush the quarterback? I know they played okay against the run today. Like, why does it all happen at once? Why is everybody on this team bad? Even Bobby, I don't think, played that well today. I know the numbers were good, but I don't give a rip about the numbers. So to me, I can't even really talk about the players. And by the way, I'm not even really talking about Clint Hurtt. I don't think Clint Hurtt does anything. Clint Hurtt is just a yes man for Pete Carroll. So yeah, I'm putting this on him. And honestly, I know people are talking about Jamal Adams. I know some people are going to talk about Devin Witherspoon. But guys, you bring those guys in here, I don't know what they're going to do in this scheme, this garbage scheme that lets receivers run wide open all game long. It is the scheme. I don't know what Witherspoon does to fix that. So if Witherspoon comes back next week and we're still sitting in soft zone, it's going to be bad, and it's going to be more indicative of the fact that Carroll has no clue what he's doing. And honestly, it's not even Jalen Carter. I think if you put Jalen Carter on this team, he would look useless. So I'm not even talking about that. I don't think any one player or even two players is going to suddenly make this defense great anymore. I'm over that now. We have good players. Like look at our edge guys. Please don't. Please don't. like I think if you put Jalen Carter on this team, he would just be running into a brick wall every play, and the defense would still be bad. Like, I don't think these players matter. CEO of Drip, thank you for the $2. Rams did a black magic curse on us before the game. I hope it's that simple. Jaron Reed, I don't think Jaron Reed played well, Jake. All right, we're back up to 200 viewers, so that's good at least. We're back to basically where we were before my internet died. But how many times can this happen? And I mean that from different angles. How many times can the season start and the defense is a complete joke for like the first 5 or 6 games? How many times can the defense get off to the worst imaginable start and take like a month and a half to get right? It's your job to get the defense ready before the season starts, not waiting 6 games. And how many times do we have to have this game on defense before we, and then the next couple games it might be better? Like, you will probably see the Seahawks defense play better next week because they actually don't sit in soft zones and don't let the other quarterback just pick them apart underneath like that. So it'll get better next week, I'm sure, but why does it take this game for them to realize, wait a minute, we definitely shouldn't do that? And this was different from most of those other games. Most of those other games, it's just over the middle, short stuff over the middle. This game was, we got beat short, we got beat over the middle for medium gains, we got beat deep, we got beat every which way. Nothing was stopped except for the run. And I hope that everybody out there who kept talking about the run defense this whole offseason gets it a little bit now. This game was a perfect example of how run defense in the modern NFL does not matter that much. We stopped the run great, and it meant nothing. It meant nothing. And with this scheme in place, with this coaching staff doing what it's doing, because as far as I'm concerned, Pete Carroll has had 2 god-awful games in a row now. The game against the Rams and the game, I'm sorry, and yeah, the Rams game and then the 49ers game. So in my book, he has gotten 2 straight F minuses in a row. Is YouTube giving me problems again? Why is YouTube giving me problems today? It's opening day. Why is this happening? Come on. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't want to deal with this garbage. Hold on. What if I do this? Does this help? Is this going to make anything better? I'm sorry, guys. I like the green screen effect, but I'm going to take it away for a second and see if that helps. Check, check, check. Check. Okay, I think we're good now. So I guess I just can't use the green screen right now. I don't know why YouTube's doing this to me, but it is. Anyway. Okay, we got 325 people in here, I think, right now. Every time there's a glitch on the stream, we lose people, so I'm really annoyed with YouTube right now, but thank you, everybody, for bearing with me through this. But, guys, I want you guys to think about this real quick. The investment in the defense. Think about the investment that we've made in this defense over the last several years. Bobby Wagner and Devin Bush, we both brought in on free agent contracts this year. Jordan Brooks was a first-round pick. Julian Love was a free agency signing. Kobe Bryant was a fourth-round pick. Trey Brown was a fourth-round pick. Draymond Jones, we spent all that money on. Jaron Reed, free agency pickup. How is it this bad? This is not like 2018. Why is my audio cutting out? It's not on my end. I can tell you that very confidently. I know it's not on my end. That is very obnoxious, though. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the chat now, start interacting with the chat. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with me through all this garbage. I'm really, really annoyed that YouTube picks today of all days to give me problems. But I think we're okay now. So I'm going to say thank you to everybody for being out here tonight. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. There's going to be a lot of Seahawks content for the rest of the season, no matter how the team does. And beyond that, we have a channel member goal of 140 for the month. We actually got one away from it earlier, but the September member goal is 140. We're currently 125, so if you want to become a member for $2, $5, or $15 a month, you can do that. Donations are very appreciated. You can super chat. You can tip via the link at the top of the description of the video. And I also have a Patreon if you want to pledge to that. And those are the main ways to support me. So let's get it. Okay. Okay, Goat, you're out of here. No, we're not doing that. I'm not letting... People are not going to be spamming the chat with their weird questions. DK Metcalf hurting that guy and costing us 15 yards at the end did not help. That man has anger issues. Yeah, that needs to stop immediately. Is next week a must-win game now? I think must-win game doesn't even begin to describe it, but honestly, I kind of feel like it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, refresh the video if you're still having problems. But here's the thing, guys. When Metcalf was doing that stuff, the game was already over. So don't think for 1 second that that mattered. Don't think for 1 second that that cost us the game. That was just him, unfortunately, being very stupid. But don't think that's what cost us this game. The stupid stuff Metcalf did came after this game was over. The game sucked real bad, but it's only one game. There are only 17 games in a season, Will. Yeah, that's my problem with that philosophy, Will. There's only 17 games in a season. One game is a big deal. Hey, Brendan, did you think Geno held onto the ball too long on several occasions today? I thought there was maybe like one, but it wasn't something I was super down on. It wasn't. Thoughts on Brooks this game? I thought Brooks played fine. Brooks played fine. I don't think anything over the top of him, but he did his job. No real issues with anything that Brooks did. If our defense is this bad for the first couple weeks, we literally need to fire someone because that's what it's been like for 5 years, and Pete is a defensive guru. Yeah, don't, guys, seriously. I really do believe that people like Clint Hurt and Ken Norton are just here to be scapegoats, and they don't actually do anything. Power Hitter, thank you for the member message. At this rate, Kobe and Trey Brown aren't the future. I'm not a huge fan of either of those players, but you can't tell me they're that bad. Like, this scheme stinks, which makes me feel like Witherspoon's going to come back and it won't make any difference because Pete is in love with this terrible scheme that everyone's figured out. Wanda back in. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to basic membership. You can check the community posts for members to us. Well, no, you can check what new perks you gain access to, I think, on the members page. I just feel like we have the wrong players for the wrong scheme. We definitely do. We signed a bunch of guys designed to play man coverage, and they didn't. Now, I will say, the players need to play with some degree of intensity, and I don't think they had that today. They had no intensity today. They looked to me like a bunch of guys trying to collect a paycheck, and that's not okay. So I am putting this on the players a little bit too, but I cannot help but come back to the coaching. John D, do you honestly think we will ever win a Super Bowl with Pete and John in charge again? Me personally, I don't. I don't have a problem with John. John, I'm okay with right now. Like Pete, I find it impossible to believe that this scheme is going to produce another Super Bowl. Like, I'm sorry, but no. Pretentious Cameron, thank you for the member message. We should just go back to a 4-3 at this point. The 4-3 wasn't really that good for the last several years it was here, though. Like, and by the way, Nwosu is a 3-4 player. Maffe's a 3-4 player. Daryl Taylor, he could go one way or the other. I think Derek Hall is a 3-4 player. Jamal Adams is a 3-4 player. Draymond Jones is a 3-4 player. You go back to a 4-3, you have to throw out a bunch of these players because they are much better in a 3-4 system. Thoughts on JSN today? I mean, he had the bad drop. Can't have that. That's not okay. But I guess he made it through the game. Man, what is it? Every time something goes wrong for the Seahawks the last year plus, everybody is just in this weird rush to throw everything on Geno's lap when he's not even really making top of the line money, especially last year, but still this year. It's like, you guys do realize this guy's not making big money, right? Like, why are you asking him to put the whole team on his shoulders like he's Pat Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert? I think that was Eaglet Schnupper. Thank you for the sub. Welcome aboard. I noticed JSN got doubled a lot today. Why couldn't we find the open man today? I don't know. I don't know. That requires all 22 viewing, and all 22 is a pain in the butt. Geno was bad. Drew Lock throws deeper more often. Geno looks scared. I don't understand this. I don't know what game you guys are watching, guys. I really don't. I really don't understand that. Where was Jake Bobo today? Why was he not getting any targets today? We never had the ball, John. We never had the ball. You got to have the ball to target receivers. Brendan, tell us something you did like no matter how small. K9 looked good. Well, maybe they looked at Lockett and determined he didn't have a concussion. If he doesn't have a concussion, he can go back in. I mean, I would have to sit here and talk about the Seahawks for 10 hours before I got to Geno Smith as a problem. Honestly, like with what the defense did today, no pressure on Stafford, mediocre tackling, and a complete inability to cover. We've got so much to talk about before Geno's name can even be brought up here, guys. And I'm not saying Geno played good, but he is the furthest thing from the problem. Man, I'm going to go play Madden. That's not going to make your life any better, dude. I agree, though. This was the worst performance I've seen in a long time for this team. They played so bad. I'm just going to say it. They looked like a team that wasn't interested in doing anything except just showing up to collect a paycheck. And like they weren't interested in playing hard for their coach. Like this looked like those games back in 2010 with the Dallas Cowboys when Wade Phillips was a dead man walking and everybody knew he was going to get fired. And the Cowboys literally were just walking around on defense waiting for the game to be over so they could get their paycheck. Like that's the only way I can describe it. And it's the first game. It's not like we're 0 and 6 and the team is trying to get Carroll fired. And it's not like we were 9 and 0 and we were just due to lose a game. Yeah, I didn't notice Draymond very much, but again, guys, be very careful about putting this on players. Everyone who on defense looked good. I want you guys to think about that for a second. Who on this defense looked good? Like Mafe and Nwosu played the run okay, but overall, I don't think they looked good. Diggs didn't look good. Woolen, I don't think looked good. Maybe he was the closest thing to a guy who looked good. Mafe was good against the run, but he offered no real pass rush. Jordan Brooks looked all right. Maybe he's like the one guy. Thoughts on Shane Waldron play calling today? I thought Waldron was doing great in the first half. Second half, I didn't love it, but we also never had the ball, so I can't drill him that much, and he lost his tackles. So it is what it is. What else was I gonna say? But yeah, when it's every single player looking this bad, I don't think it can be the players. And Stout, thank you for the $1.99. Who had the most disappointing game today? The most disappointing game today. Wow. That's brutal. I don't even know. I don't know. Draymond Jones? I don't know. Operative Mass 3. How do you feel about Meyer missing big kicks last season and today? Well, I think that we are very stupid for giving him that giant contract. I think he fooled us. And we have no one to blame but ourselves. Power Hitter 427. Thank you for the $1.99. These two-man fronts are horrendous. Zero pass rush. Well, the idea is you use two-man fronts when it's an obvious passing down, but we still don't get a pass rush when we go to them. Like, I would understand it philosophically if it was actually getting rushed, but it's not. Nothing we do gets pass rush. And this is, again, guys, this is game number 1. No, we do not have Denver's number 1 pick next year, guys. We do not have Denver's number 1 pick. We have our picks plus an extra third. Wouldn't Adam fix some of the issues on the defense, though? Well, who does Adams take the place of? Julian Love? What was Julian Love's problem today? He got beat a couple times in coverage deep down the field. Well, Jamal Adams is not good in coverage deep down the field. He's only good in coverage near the line of scrimmage. So I don't think so. I don't really think I'm kind of I really don't think any player could fix this. I don't think Witherspoon's going to fix this. I think if we had drafted Jalen Carter, it wouldn't make any difference. I think we could have Draymond Jones and Zach Allen. And by the way, if it is players, if it is the players, if it were the case that it is the players, then it's Carroll's job to go out in the offseason and get better players. Okay? It all comes back to Pete and John, no matter how you slice it. Those two guys, either Pete and John need to get better players in the offseason, or Pete needs to coach the players he has better. Take a division loss with a grain of salt and a shot at tequila. Okay, guys, I was ready for the Seahawks to let down today, but a letdown would have been like a 4 point win or a 3 point win, or maybe like a 3 point loss, not 17 points. We are probably going to look back at that loss at the end of the season and say, wow, can you believe we got blown out at home in week one by a team that ended up winning 3 games this year? That is a very realistic possibility. And I'm sorry, I'm not okay with that. And none of you guys should be okay with it too. We need to play man coverage and blitz. What do we have to lose by blitzing? I mean, we tried to blitz today. It was ugly, though. We kept going on those delayed blitzes with Wagner and Bush, and they were completely ineffective. We need to approach it in a different direction. It's literally Pete. He's too impatient to commit to a 3-4. He keeps trying to put in his beloved soft coverage as a safety net. I mean, we already know basically a month and a half ago, Pete lost some of his power in the organization to John. So maybe we just need to take more away from him. Maybe we need to be like, okay, we're going to hire a defensive coordinator and he controls the defense and you stay away from the defense. That would probably make him retire. He would rage quit, but like you almost have to do something like that. Just make him go away from the defense or something. John Lugo, thank you for the $2. Same story, different year. No. Guys, this is a completely different story. We have never lost a game like the game we lost today. We have never had a result like that, ever. I really do believe that. Did you see Ghost? Thank you for the $1.99. Did you see that stat of the pressures today? No, I did not, Ghost. I have not seen it. Yeah, pretentious. That Rams team was good. And we had a bunch of injuries. We had Bobby Wagner out there limping around when he shouldn't have been out there. And that Seahawks team was mediocre. This team is supposed to be better than mediocre, and the Rams are supposed to be terrible. It's not even an equivalency. Watch us go on a 5 game winning streak and everybody about to start praising Pete and Geno. Well, look, if we go into Cincinnati and beat the Bengals, that will undo a loss like this, sure, but that has to happen first. It has to happen, not, oh, let's talk about the fact that it might happen, and that's the same as it actually happening. Hopefully Tomlin gets fired and Pete gets fired, and boom, we have Mike Tomlin. How good is Mike Tomlin, though? Yeah, it was my bad for having expectations. You know what? No. A fan should never apologize for having expectations, especially with the way Pete was talking about things before the season started. The stuff he was saying about how, like, I feel like we got a special unit in here. Like, it's their fault for building expectations. If they don't want the fans to have expectations, then come out before the season starts and just say, oh, we're going to tank this year. We're going to be terrible. Like, come out and say that. If you don't want the fans to have expectations, tell them not to. Think we have a chance against Detroit next week? Of course we do, but I'm not even thinking about that right now. I feel like Sean Desai being gone has an effect on some of our DBs. Yeah, maybe, but it's not like our defense was good last year. It's also, guys, stop huffing copium. Guys, you guys seriously need to stop huffing the copium on this one, guys. There's nothing good about getting blown out at home by the Rams, basically a bunch of second stringers and washed up has-beens. Yeah, Power, the run defense looked great, and we saw today that it doesn't matter. Your run defense can be great, and it doesn't really matter at all because you still can't get off the field. Like, we've all seen this defense get gutted over the last 5 years in various games, but this was different. Ghost, thank you for the 4.99. Apparently, we created pressure on 5% of dropbacks. Worst it's been in 5 years. Jamal and Spoon ain't fixing this defense. Yeah, I don't think any player is fixing this defense. Like, you could throw Deion Sanders and Lawrence Taylor out there, and in this scheme, they're not doing anything. Pass rush needs to improve. We either need to make a big trade or change scheme. I really feel like the only way the scheme meaningfully changes from what we saw today is we just either have to lose every game for like a couple months or something has to get forced through. I don't think Pete's ever going to give this up because we've been doing this for years. Brendan, it won't let me dono. You could try tipping, I guess. You can click the link at the top of the description. The pop-up still works on stream, by the way, even if you do it that way. But yeah, the YouTube app does give a lot of people problems. I'm worried about Lucas. He's hurt a lot. He only missed one game last year, but he might have knee problems this whole season. It sounds like it's just going to be an ongoing thing. Would you call it a franchise-changing loss then? I mean, I think it redefines my expectations for the team this year. You got to chill. It's literally no. I'm not chilling. I'm not chilling. Guys, knock it off. Yeah, I don't know why people are talking about Jalen Carter. I have no idea. Look how bad Draymond Jones looked today, and look how good he looked in Denver. You think if Jalen Carter comes here, he would look any good? Probably not. He'd probably be getting blasted the same way Draymond Jones is getting blasted. The lack of effort is my biggest concern. Yeah, it's week one. Why is there no effort in week one? So what happens if they go out next week and completely come together and beat the Lions? Then they're still chasing the Rams game. Because I thought they were going to beat the Lions before the season started. So you're still chasing it. The Rams could have dropped 50 points if needed to. Pretty much. What were we going to do? How we can't get to Stafford? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Bobby played that well today. I thought he was going to be a significant upgrade over what we had last year. Anonymous, thank you for the $2 tip. Pete lied. We don't have 2012 vibes at all. No passion. Yeah, no kidding. He lies about a lot of things. I can't bring myself to watch his stupid post-game press conference crap, but I've read some of the quotes, and it's just infuriating. He says garbage like, we'll adjust, we'll fix it. And it's like, dude, the game's already over. It's too late. It's too late to adjust. The game is over. Bobby looked old on that play where Stafford ran for 9 yards. Yeah, I did notice that. Next year we need to... Well, the thing is, this offseason we did go after a big defensive tackle, and in this game he looked awful. I don't... I just don't think a player's not fixing any of this, guys. That's why, people are going to say, oh, we should trade for this guy. We should trade for that guy. Guys, I think you're spinning your wheels. I really do. We could have Prime Lawrence Taylor and he would look bad in this scheme. I mean, what's he going to do? Oh, looks like I got a second tip with the same message. Thank you, Anonymous. Pizza Liar 2012 vibes are long gone. Passion is gone. Oh, it's not the same tip. It's a slightly different tip. But thank you. Yeah. That 2012 thing is like a big meme in the Seahawks community. Charisma, thank you for the $4.99. Hey, Brendan, unbearable game. Will be rejoining membership soon? Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Charisma. Yeah, I feel bad for anybody who had to go watch that game in person. And honestly, if we come out with a bad effort against the Lions next week, my only wish is that for the Week 3 game against the Panthers, there's not a single Seahawks fan in the stadium. I hope every single Seahawks fan stays home or gives their ticket to a Panthers fan. Like, that is what this team deserves after that effort today. How about we draft 2 cover safeties early? I mean, we are already spending way too much money on safeties. We're already spending too much money on it. So I don't think that's good. No. Man. That was my Anon tip. Okay, thank you, Big Patty Daddy. Were they both yours? There were 2 of them. Last season was like 2010, made playoffs when we shouldn't have. This season is 2011, trying to click everything together. I can't agree with that, pretentious Cameron. I don't buy that. I'm not that I think that's like copium. Man. Linebackers the to blame the most for pass coverage issues or cornerback too. It wasn't really linebackers today. It was the pass rush and the cornerbacks and safeties, I guess. Think about how many passes the Rams dropped, by the way. I think it's time for Pete to retire. If this is the best he can do, then he needs to get out of here. Like, I'm not going to have any patience for this, guys. My support of these players and coaches will always be conditional. What would you do if we lost to the Cards? Oh, if you lose to the Cards, then there's nothing to get mad about. You just have one of the worst teams ever. Gotta love our defensive captain, Quandre Diggs, not being able to keep his composure. Yeah, that was great. And he didn't even play a good game, by the way. He got beat deep multiple times. And there were a couple of times when he, quite honestly, got beat and then the receiver dropped the ball. Like, he wasn't good. I think Pete's done some good stuff recently. I think Pete's done some good things, but it's not making up for this part of it. This part, the game days. Because I think Pete Carroll does a pretty good job setting the team up in the offseason. I think Pete does do a pretty good job of preparing things and coaching players up. But you get to the game, and it's like, if that's what you're doing during the games, everything else you're doing as a coach doesn't matter. If Quandre Diggs was to get a new contract right now, how much would he get? 5 mil a year, 7 tops. I don't know. Safety contracts are weird. Safety contracts are really weird. I don't know. Once we get new ownership, they'll fire Pete. That may be what it is. Oh my good. Wow. Okay. This game. Oh my God. Make it stop. Can Hurt get out? Guys, I don't think Hurt's going to do anything. Hurt is just a yes man for Carroll. I seriously doubt firing Clint Hurt is going to do a thing. Yeah, that was my favorite part of the game, Austin, when they showed Pete standing on the sideline with his mouth open after Trey Brown committed the illegal hands to the face. The conversations around Carroll and Service seem very similar. I actually really liked Service until this year. I think Scott did a great job 2 years ago and last year. But this year, I think Scott's been bad. So I'm pretty down on Scott, but it's nothing like Pete. I think Pete has done quite a bit of bad work over the last 5, 6 years. Yeah, Haynes, I mean, that was an instance where I wasn't really sure how to feel about a player, but I was like, okay, we signed him, we gave him 4 million bucks. We like him enough to make him a starter. Let's see what he can do. And it's like, you guys aren't getting these things right all of a sudden. Like last year you were, now suddenly why is your intuition always failing you? Oh, we just picked up a couple of subs. Hassan Guapo. And I think there was one that I missed. I'm sorry. But welcome aboard. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for the sub. I mean, Pete did a good job last year, and Pete did a good job in 2018. But even in that, it's like the defense is never anything more than a slightly above average. And it's often really bad. So even the good stuff he does is like, well, why can't you coach a defense anymore? By the way, guys, yeah, do me a favor and like the stream if you haven't already. Hey, the Broncos. Who cares about the Broncos losing? Like, why am I supposed to get anything out of that, though? We don't have their pick next year. You guys do realize that we have maybe their third round pick, and I don't like. Who cares about that? Pretentious Cameron, with that defensive roster, I don't buy it. Ghost, thank you for the 4.99. Is Pete losing the locker room? Guys are fighting and looking super unmotivated. Bobby even admitted the rebuilding Rams wanted it more, which is wild. I felt like that today. I felt like the team was quitting on him. Russ looked like a star compared to Geno. No, he. What is wrong with anti-Geno people? I swear. Anti-Geno people, I swear to God, they watch a Madden simulation of Seahawks games and think it's real life. What did Russ do? Russ put up 16 points against the Raiders at home. He failed when given an opportunity to go drive for the win. He went 3 and out. Like, you guys have low standards when it comes to Russ, but ridiculously high standards when it comes to Geno. When Geno makes half the money Russ does, I don't get it. Nick Taylor, thank you for the $1.99. What do you think needs to happen to fix our team? I kind of feel like we need a new head coach. Like this was I mean, I'm not saying Pete's going to get fired right now. I understand he's not for very obvious reasons. Um I just don't think that his philosophy works that well anymore. Yeah, why are we supposed guys, last year we had Denver's first and second round picks. This year we don't. Them losing is just kind of funny for 2 seconds. It does not make up for the Seahawks being like this. Sorry. Sadly, I don't think Pete will ever get fired. The only way we'll get a new head coach is if he retires. Well, yeah, I understand that you would go to him and be like, hey, dude, step down. Step down or you're going to get fired. Do you want this to be the easy way or the hard way? But yeah. Corey Coombe, thank you for the $1.99. DK's attitude was disgusting today. I mean, yeah, it had nothing to do with this game result, of course, but that was definitely something that we need to not see anymore. Like, it's been going on for too long. That kind of stuff needs to stop immediately. Well, in order to get Pete out, we'd have to go like 2-15 and be non-competitive in like most of the games. Then the owner would have to do it because the stadium would be empty every week. And then he'd just be like, "Oh crap." Brendan, do you still like John Schneider? Yeah, I think Schneider's good. I think Schneider's good. It's not his fault his head coach doesn't know how to use his players. No, DK's not going to get suspended, I don't think. Did Cam Young even play a snap? I don't know. I don't think so. Mr. Boba Feet, welcome to the channel. There's that Boba Feet. Like Boba Fett. Mr. Boba Fett. Okay, whatever. I don't feel like any other team has to work as hard as we do to move the ball on offense. Yeah, guys, stop saying this is one game. The defense was bad last year, too. Most of the games we played last year, the defense was bad. So this is not a one-game thing, okay? Last game we played last year, we gave up 500 yards to Brock Purdy. There were some positive things last year, but the defense wasn't really one of them. The defense was pretty bad. So this is not just one game. This is a pattern. Yeah, I mean, we've been unable to run screens no matter who the players are or the coaches, so I don't know what to say about it anymore. So the Broncos weren't on the road. Observer, what are you talking about? The Broncos were at home. Okay, Blapkin, but are we going to be playing soft zones all day with Witherspoon? Because if we are, nothing's going to get better. Who'd you want instead of Pete Carroll? Somebody who won't run soft zones every single game? I know Jamal and Witherspoon are going to help on some level, but it's not going to make this team good. How did the Broncos offense look efficient? Wilson averaged like what, 4 yards an attempt? I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched most of the game. It didn't really look that good to me. I thought Richardson played quite well. I was actually pretty impressed. Like, is there any specific coach is top three? Well, you could promote Waldron, although I got to be honest, I don't think Waldron's going to be a very good head coach. I don't. I think he's going to be like Hackett. Good coordinator, bad coach, but you could try that. There are guys you could poach from college. And I don't want to say Lincoln Riley because I don't think Lincoln Riley's ever going to leave USC, at least not right now. Yeah, I shouldn't say never. But they're guys. They're always guys. Nick Taylor, thank you for the $1.99. Do you have an injury update on the tackles? Apparently it's just minor. It's not that big of a deal. But the concern is that it flares up again. We got 16 more games to get through. Are we going to lose 38-10 next week? Well, I mean, if that's what it takes to get something changed, then I'm not even against it. You know, I remember very clearly Tom Coughlin, who was a better coach than Pete Carroll, by the way. Last year of his career with the Giants was senile, and the team made so many stupid decisions. They blew like 5 double-digit fourth quarter leads or something that year. Think about that. Um, Maybe the same thing's happening with Carroll. Maybe he's just gonna lose his mind and start blowing the most basic things. Should we get Quinn Ewers in next year's draft? I really liked what I saw from Quinn. He was hitting that deep ball yesterday. I don't think we're going to be able to get him. I think he's actually going to go really high in the draft at this point. Why not? Coughlin has 2 Super Bowls, and he did it as a pretty big underdog both times. Coughlin was a phenomenal coach. And also, Coughlin had a tremendous amount of success with the Jacksonville Jaguars. What about Michael Penix? Yeah, I like Michael Penix. Not against that. Coughlin a better coach than Pete Carroll? You're insane. You guys do realize that Tom Coughlin turned the Jags into an AFC powerhouse for a short time and then won 2 Super Bowls with Eli Manning. Like, Coughlin's a really good coach, guys. It's not even me knocking Carroll that much, although I don't like him right now. But Coughlin was a really good coach. I think I think people have forgotten how good he was because he's been retired for 5+ years. I have the Cowboys defense on my fantasy, so I'm pretty sure I'm good. Hold on, let me look. Oh, yes. Okay. My fantasy team's winning by 40 points, and the only player he has left is Gabe Davis. Oh, yes. Okay. Phil Knight buys the Seahawks, hires Dan Lanning, and drafts Bo Nix. Ah, we can do better than Bo Nix. Bo Nix has no accuracy. Man, I can't believe I'm going to win in fantasy. I started Dalton Schultz and Drake London and Graham Gano, and I'm going to win in fantasy. Justin Herbert, Travis Etienne, Amon Ra, DK Metcalf, and Cowboys defense and Isaiah Pachinko are going to carry me a little bit here. Wow. How did I win? I don't want Bienemy. Bienemy's a clipboard holder. All right. So we did actually end up getting quite a few people in the stream. We got almost 400 people in the stream right now. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. I know we're all miserable and upset right now. And we should be, by the way. There's no universe where this is like a minor thing. This is a big deal, what happened today. JJ McCarthy sucks, Amari Taylor. He's like tiny Cam Newton, and tiny Cam Newton is not. I don't get the JJ McCarthy thing. Yeah, Kobe didn't play very well. Although honestly, so many defensive backs didn't play well. If you're gonna fire Kobe, probably fire everybody. Shitter Sanders needs to learn how to get rid of the ball. He holds onto the ball way too long. That's my thing. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. Best offensive and defensive players. Well, best offensive player was probably Walker. Best defensive player was probably Mafe, I guess. Well, yeah, but anybody we get is probably going to be a Pete Yes man. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. Jordan Travis, I really like Joe Milton. But guys, I'm not even thinking about a quarterback in next year's draft. We played one game. Let's figure out what's going on with this team that we have right now. But instead of thinking about some quarterback that odds are very, very strong we don't get. Like, I set aside a little bit of time every week to do that, but we just got drilled. Let's talk about that. Yeah, Uchena's not here to stop the run. He's here to get pressure. The O-line looked fine in the first half. Not great, but I thought it was fine. My God, man. This Giants team, are they getting embarrassed more than we were at this point? It's 40-0. And I think Daniel Jones is still in the game. Like, why is he still in the game? That's bizarre. I can't believe this. I thought they'd at least show up. Yeah, see that's the thing. Like all these people want to slander Geno. Look at Daniel Jones making way more money than Geno. Look what you're getting from him. Look what you got from like even Derek Carr. Look what you got from Wilson today. Like trust me, we're getting off very easy. Should have hired Vic Fangio. I don't think he would take a DC job. He wants to. Oh, Daniel Jones got clobbered. Well, yeah, I'm slandering the entire defense because the defense played atrociously. And I'm not slandering Geno because Geno played fine. Like, what is he supposed to do? He never gets the ball because the defense can't get off the field. And when he does get the ball, he plays half the game with no tackles who get drilled. Why is Daniel Jones still in this game? Why is anybody still in this game? Look at this rain. This looks incredibly uncomfortable. No, I don't want to trade for Buckner. Buckner's not good enough to make a difference or a significant difference. And, you know, Geno hit a third down conversion to JSN and JSN dropped the ball. Stuff like that, too. I know Geno's not as good as Pat Mahomes or Joe Burrow or those guys. Oh, my God, another fumble. I know he's not as good as the elite quarterbacks, but guess what? He's not getting paid like them, so that should be a reasonable expectation. I guess Chris Jones could make a difference, but I'm not convinced, man. I'm starting to think this scheme is just like nothing good can happen with it. Top 3 head coaching candidates? I don't know, man. I'd have to look at some stuff. I was hoping I wouldn't have to be thinking about this right now because the sad reality is the overwhelmingly likely outcome here is that Pete is stuck here until he feels like retiring. Kellen Moore? Maybe. I wasn't crazy about what he did in Dallas, but there's some interesting stuff there. Do you think Clint Hurtt is part of the issue? He's been the defensive coordinator for a bit, and our defense doesn't seem to be getting any better. I don't think he does anything. I don't think he does anything real. I think it's Pete's defense, and that's all there is to say about it. I think he's just a yes man. Uh-huh. All right, guys. So there's about 3 minutes left in this Sunday night game, and I'm probably going to end the stream when the game is over. So I don't know exactly how long the stream went for. I think it went for a little more than an hour, like an hour 15. But here's the deal. Thank you everybody for coming out. We had a good conversation. We're trying to figure this stuff out. I'm stunned by what happened today. I'm disgusted, and I think we all are too, and that's good. If you're not disgusted, then I think you weren't watching the right game today. But I do plan on going live on Twitch tonight. I'm going to go live on Twitch later tonight, probably playing Starfield. So if you want to watch that, go to my Twitch, follow it, and keep an eye out for it to go live later tonight. I am going to probably go until like 12, 12:30, 1, something like that. And we'll probably be talking about the Seahawks a lot. So if you want to have further conversations about Seahawks stuff, you can come in. We'll have fun. Thank you to everybody who liked the stream today. If you haven't yet, by the way, please do so. Thank you to everybody who donated. We had one new member. Yeah. That's about it. Quick, how is Starfield? Yeah or nay? I like it a lot. I'm very impressed. Admittedly, it is mostly because of the quantity of things to do rather than the quality of each little piece. But I'm actually very happy with Starfield, and I didn't expect to be. I thought Starfield was just going to be a good game, but I think it's a great game. Sup? Thank you for the basic membership. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the club. Play the game highlights before. You're funny. But anyway. Hopefully tomorrow night's game is good. Steve Avila was making his first career start. He should not be getting the best of you like that. Not okay. You know what? Pete deserves every bad thing that anybody wants to say about him. There's nothing you can say about him right now that is going too far. Like, after that performance, Like, he's lucky there's not a clause in his contract that says if you lose to the rebuilding Rams by 3 scores, that you automatically have to get fired. I wasn't a big Avila fan. I don't think he fits our offense, but neither does Phil Haynes. Not really. Maybe kind of. I don't know. Eh. Depends on your perspective. Gross, man. I don't know how this I just don't know how Pete, a defensive minded coach, can look at this defense and say, yeah, this is what I like. I like this. Maybe sup. I guess that's possible, but right now I have to react with the information that we have. When do you start to believe in this team again going forward? They got to string together some wins, period. They got to string together some wins. They got to start playing well. I'll know it when I see it. But the thing is, I'm going to have trust issues, right? Because they could play really well for a while, but it could be like, oh, that could come back. Like, like at any given time, they could have another game where they lose to a bunch of backups. Crafty Cam, I don't play that game. Every team passes up on players who end up being good. Like every team ever. I don't understand that. Like TJ Watt is a 3-4 linebacker. We ran a 4-3 at that time. So we were never going to take TJ Watt. So I don't really play that game, Crafty Cam. It happens. Of course, I get mad when the players we take end up sucking, like LJ Collier, but I'm not going to sit here and get mad that, like, oh, we didn't take the guys who made the Hall of Fame in every draft class. So I don't really play that game. I try to look at what we have and what it did. I know, David. I don't know how Pete can be okay with it. We've been watching it for years, and I guess he's just cool with it. And you can't say it's like because we're so successful. No, the defense has mostly been bad lately, and we haven't won a playoff game since 2019. And before then, the last playoff win was 2016. Do you play Gematria? I don't know what that is. I don't think drafting is a crapshoot, but I do acknowledge that you will sometimes just get things wrong. It's part of the process. The analyst had us drafting both Watt and Cooper Kupp. I don't remember analysts saying we were going to draft Watt. Cooper Kupp, yeah. Yeah, the Stafford scramble for a first down was embarrassing. That should never happen. Why aren't. Okay. I think that's the last play of the game for the Giants. 40 to nothing Cowboys. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do another stream tomorrow night so we can keep talking about this Seahawks crap? Because I usually don't do multiple solo streams a week like that. But I feel like today's loss was so bad and disgusting that I should do another YouTube stream tomorrow night during the Monday night game. So maybe I'll do that just so we can like reconvene and try to figure this stuff out and talk it through. All right, I'll probably come back tomorrow then. It sounds like people would be interested in that. Okay, guys, once again, I'll be on Twitch tonight, Starfield. Thanks for coming out. I wish the team could have shown up, given us something. We deserve better than this. We deserve way better than this as fans. Period. None of us deserve this. So I'll probably see you guys tomorrow or tonight if you want to come out to the Twitch. See you guys later.